Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Mattel Max Steel Bio-Bomb Toxzon. This is a really neat looking figure, and one thing I'm loving about the new Mattel Max Steel reboots is that all the figures, at least these figures, are so incredibly big. I mean, comparing it, and I'll compare it to the Max Steel figure that we've already had a look at, but comparing it to that figure, these are really large pieces. It's nice to see toy companies going to big toys again. You know, we kept going small. Now we're starting to see big toys again. I think that's really awesome. This is an open window box, so you can see Toxzon featured there. Down below there's Toxzon with his little fish friend, and truth be told, Spot hasn't really watched much of the Max Steel, the new Max Steel show, but I mean, the character designs are really quite impressive. On the side, there's a picture of Max Steel, and on the back, now sadly on the back though, Spot picked up this box, but unfortunately it is in Spanish. So it has a read-up, but I won't be able to actually read it to you guys because I don't actually speak Spanish. But the fish does have a flipping action. The Toxzon does throw, I guess, barrels of bio-bombs at Max Steel. Again, really fun-looking figure. You can head over to www.maxsteel.com. You can play games over there. You can also check out some of the videos that they're posting over there. And again, all comes to us from the folks over at Mattel. Spot's going to take a break and get this opened up. When we come back, we're going to get a better look at Bio-Bomb Toxzon. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. With Toxzon out of box, you can see how incredibly large that he is. Don't believe me? Well, let's bring in Max Steel that we've already had a look at and put him in front of the very towering Toxzon. Yes, he is quite big. And something that Spot addressed in the opening end of the review with the packaging, I'm loving the fact that we're getting big figures again. You know, we get so many small figures, to get something like this is so impressive. Putting Max Steel to the side, and we've already had the look of the review of him. The one accessory that comes with, I really shouldn't say that, but one of the accessories that come with Toxzon is the fish, the little fish character here. And again, I don't quite, Spot unfortunately apologizes, I don't know the name of the fish, but I'm sure you guys can let me know down below. It is a staction piece. It doesn't have any sort of posability or anything to it. However, what you can do is bring the camera down. You can take the fish and you can flick it. Now it flicks better, much better on a harder surface, but it would be like some of the old, like I used to have these actually when I was younger, like the little flipping toys where you could push down on it, like mine were frogs and stuff like that. But you can flick the goldfish. And that's kind of neat. I mean, it doesn't really do a whole lot, but the sculpt certainly is nice. He's got a little boulder hat there. Putting him to the side, though, I mean, for me, the draw to the set, even somebody that probably doesn't maybe watch Max Steel, the draw to me is these figures. So big, so bulky, and I really like the designs of them. Having a better look at him, he's kind of like, well, you can see that there's parts of him where he's more mechanized. There's areas here as well where he's got kind of like an ooze sculpt to him. I like the crown. I like this mohawk that they've given him. I think that's a really neat design. To me, and this is speaking from an older individual, for me, what I like about the Max Steel property, and one of the reasons why I'm getting excited for these toys, is that they have very like 80s designs to them. I don't know, am I the only one that sees that? Like, I look at these, and as cool as they are, I'm thinking to myself, it kind of reminds me of something I would have seen in like Silverhawks. You know, again, that probably dates me. That Silverhawks, come on, Spot, how old are you? But I mean, I really like these creative designs that they've came up with the characters. Now, one arm you can see is considerably bigger than the other. There's a reason for that. I'll show you that in a second. But his articulation, he actually has a fair bit for the size of toy that he is. He doesn't really have anything, sadly, in the head, and I can understand why, because of the crown of the mohawk there. But his shoulders do hinge out. I was almost even expecting these just to be a straight swivel, but they do actually have a hinge joint to them as well. He has a hinge in the elbow. You can see his hand underneath there is sculpted in to the top section here that has the tentacles. The tentacles don't look like they're posable, they're just rubbery, a rubbery material. But they in itself, they are in themselves certainly fun little pieces, just even before we look at everything else. Legs do swivel forward and back, and he has a bend also in his knees. Now, as for his gimmick, we look around to the side, his other side arm here, and this arm also does have the hinge, though pretty much aside from the hinge, that's about all he has on this one arm. On the side, however, though, you can take these little barrels, pop them out, and they're kind of like a translucent plastic, hollow on the inside there. But you can take them, and his claw does have no real articulation really to speak of, but it does have this piece right here, this little tab that flips out. Take the barrel and put it into his glove or his claw, I guess, and aim it towards what you want to fire it at. Actually, that's a good angle. Aim it at what you want to fire it at, and then you take this button right here and you pull it back. And when you pull it back, that little tab that we saw flicks, and it launches the barrels out. And Toxzon has actually two of them. Grabbing the other one here. Same idea, you just put it into his hand. Maybe try not to point it right at the camera, but we'll flick it, and right onto the floor. But yeah, really neat. Really neat. And surprisingly, seeing some of the other Max Steel figures that Mattel is producing, Toxzon is about a mid-level, mid-height figure. There's actually figures even bigger than this. I think that's what's really going to draw the boys, or really for that matter, the girls and boys, to this line. You have still, of course, the articulated, light-up gimmick figures, but above and beyond that, I think what's really going to draw people to this line is the big scale figures. This is impressive, and definitely very thrilled I was able to pick it up. Today's Toy Spot, we were having a look at the Max Steel Bio Bomb Toxzon. Stay tuned, guys. Spot's going to have more videos heading your way. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.